Glad to know that you're still on 2AM Sports. Coming your way on 90 Sports 24. And of course, earlier I told you that we've got a big fish in the studio. Who's this person? All right, let's make it easy for you. And of course, you know, he's a heavyweight when it comes to the academic world. And of course, he's a true statesman. He has every quality to be called that. And when it comes to the development of sport, he has been an advocate for, you know, using sport as a tool for development and diplomacy. And of course, who's this man? Again, is a tenured professor of political science and international relations, a former Minister of the Federal Republic, yes, Minister of National Planning. And of course, this man is the current Director General of the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. And of course, we've seen so many things he has done when it comes to sports development. He has contributed in no small measure to the development of sports in his native, Kwara State, and of course beyond that. And also in his organization, he has continued to encourage sports, with the latest being a partnership where, the workforce is going to keep fit. And also recently, he spearheaded a strategic leadership when it comes, to supporting the All-African Challenge Trophy, which is going to be in Abuja. With that, it's also encouraging, everything when it comes to, the women folk, because the All-African Challenge Trophy is for them. And of course, in doing so, it's also supporting, sports development nationally. Who's this man? I'm so, should I just use excited to welcome to the show no other person than Professor Abubakar Suleiman, the Director General of the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. A big man in the studio. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Good morning. Thank you very much. You are doing a good job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure. Thank
you. I think the last time, I met you was when you became a minister. I could remember we gathered there at your then office.
That's 12 years ago.
Yes.
12 years ago. Yeah.
So it's so beautiful to see how things have gone, and you've continued to do lots of things for the development of Nigeria. Thank you for all you do, sir.
Thanks for having me here today.
It's always beautiful.
Yeah,
and I'm sure so many people will be wondering, this man with what we call 1,500, with your agbada, they'll be like, what is he doing on a sports show? But we do know that, you've been able to do a lot of things when it comes to, your contribution to sports development, which we're going to talk about. But before we go deeper into that, let's look at this report when it comes to, the partnership, his organization, the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, just, entered with the Ladies Golf Association of Nigeria. The man is encouraging the women.
In a move to strengthen preparations for the 2026 All-Africa Challenge Trophy, the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILDS, and the Ladies Golf Association of Nigeria, ELGAN, have formalized a strategic partnership with the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding. Director General of NILDS, Professor Abubakar Suleiman, described the agreement as a milestone in advancing sports diplomacy, noting that sports have become a powerful tool for economic growth, gender inclusion, tourism development, international cooperation, and national image building. Professor Suleiman said hosting the 2026 AACT presents Nigeria with an opportunity to reinforce its leadership in sports diplomacy and Pan-African collaboration, adding that NILDS' involvement aligns with its mandate of legislative research, policy advisory services, and capacity development for the National Assembly. He explained that the partnership would help integrate sports into national policy objectives while promoting sustainable governance in the sector. The NILDS Director General further described the collaboration as a model for value creation, bringing together ELGAN's expertise in golf administration and NILDS' legislative and policy influence to ensure a successful championship.
That sports is no longer a recreational thing. Sport today has become an instrument, a powerful instrument for economic development, for gender inclusion. What you cannot achieve in other areas, through sport, you can achieve it. Even crises you cannot settle between two nations, through sport, you can resolve it.
President of the Nigeria Golf Association of Nigeria, Dr. Lami Ahmed, thanked NILDS for honoring its commitment to support the tournament, describing the partnership as timely and critical to Nigeria's hosting ambitions. She recalled that while Elgan secured the hosting rights in Morocco, the task ahead required strong institutional backing.
I'm beginning to see this partnership beyond today, beyond the hosting of the AACT in November. I see this as a reflection of what this agency stands for, adding value to people.
Dr. Ahmed disclosed that preparations for the championship have gathered momentum, with several African countries already confirming participation for the tournament billed for November 2 to 7 in Abuja. She added that the partnership would also promote legislative engagements, business networking, tourism and proper documentation, leaving a lasting legacy for Nigerian golf. In Abuja, Francis Kabile, NTA Sports.
Quite beautiful to know, and of course, anything that involves gender inclusion, trust the DG to be part of it. And of course, it's so beautiful to know that the man himself is here, to talk about the latest partnership with Elgan. All right, thank you for still remaining with us. And quite beautiful to see that report from Francis Kabile, a partnership with the Ladies Golf Association of Nigeria. And we're going to really dwell on that, on the show today. But let's talk about, you. Many people do not know this, part of you, that you're also a lover of sports. You also support sports. We've seen you support the Mana Cup, in Kwara State. Anything about youth development when it comes to, sports, you've always supported it. What gingers this your love for sports?
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me today.
Also?
You see, the issue of sports is not something one should close his or her eyes on, because sports is one phenomenon that is synonymous with life, because sports is about living. You may have enthusiasm for football, for table tennis, for golf, for whichever aspect of sports. But what is important, which you must all know, is that forget the enthusiasm in terms of either in form of patronage, in terms of watching it, in terms of admiration, but that you are into it, you engage in it. You are doing a service to yourself. You are rendering a service to yourself. Because every aspect of sports doesn't diminishes your health, but it increases or it boosts your health. So sport itself is healthy. Sport itself is one phenomenon. You see, in advanced democracy, like countries like China, for instance, when you go to a hospital and you are asking for, you are facing any medical issue, they will not give you, they might not give you any medication. They just tell you, go on therapy. Go on this. When you talk of therapy, it's sporting.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Yes.
if you see it from that perspective, that sport itself is life. Sport itself, sustain healthy life, give you, boost your morale, boost your healthy living, then naturally you develop admiration for it. So one of the first, value or variable rather, that endear me to issue of sports is the fact that I'm more healthier. You understand? When I engage in any of the sporting activities. And because I want people to be more healthier, I want to support, I want to patronize, I want to ensure that anything that has to do with sports, healthy living is what I support. So the motivation is on the basis of the fact that when you engage in sports, you engage in healthy life. And that's the first motivation. Not now to come to the issue of sports as an instrument of foreign policy. Sport as an instrument of nation building. Sport as an instrument of corporate existence. We can go on and go on. So what you could not achieve, through dialogue at times, what you could not achieve through warfare at times, we achieve it through sport. So we can go on mentioning what sport could do to a nation.
I'm speaking to a professor, so I know that the professor can start from now till tomorrow. I won't get tired, which is quite beautiful. We're still going to talk about that, how you've been supporting, and of course the latest initiative, even with the National Institute for Sports. Yeah. But let's talk about this one, because they will always say once you support women, or you even raise a girl child, you're raising a whole nation, you're supporting a whole nation. And I don't want to imagine like being a DG, in your capacity, in the number of, letters that you have to, take a look at in a day. I'm sure there will have been so many people that would have written to you. What makes this partnership with Organ different? Why have you decided to go into partnership with the Ladies Golf Association of Nigeria?
I can answer that question from two perspectives.
Okay, so?
One, the people concerned, they are women, they are ladies. They are people of the other gender, sex. Anything that has to do with women advancement, women emancipation, I'm always key into it. My institute always key into it. Because we have this perspective or this notion that anything about women, just don't mind them. They are weakened, they are weaker sex. People don't really want to get endeared to what they do. You understand? And we have to keep on saying that there's no democracy when the mass of majority of the people are not involved in decision making, when they are not involved in governance. Women should not just be seen during the election casting their votes. They must be seen when it comes to participation, when it comes to decision making, when it comes to policy making, when it comes to legislation, when it comes to law making. But paradoxically, that is not the case in Nigeria. So we need to do more for them in terms of getting them, involved in governance, in terms of inclusivity, in terms of participation, in terms of economic empowerment. That has not been the case. So in our institute, as part of our mandate, as part of our programs, we have what we call the Gender Inclusivity Unit. It's a division that I created under the institute. And that division is all about advancing the interests of women. How do we ensure that the women, they get their own fair share, of whatever it is in the country? How do we advance their economic well-being? How do we advance the educational well-being? How do we bridge the gap between men and women? We're not talking about equity in terms of equality. We are talking about fairness. We are talking of justice. We are talking about ensuring that, give them something. So we are key to that. We are involved in that. We are doing so much in that area, and it's one of our key agenda. We work with a lot of partners to advance, that cause. So that is number one. So when the Lady Golf Association, wrote to me and they want such partnership, one, because they are ladies, we need to assist them. Not every organization wants to talk to them, want to even listen to them. We must listen to them. And we did listen to them. And we are talking with them. So that is one. The second is the issue of sport. We are talking about sport. When it comes to sport in Nigeria, the Falcons are doing wonderfully well.
Yes.
But aside the Falcon, any other aspect of sporting activities, you don't see women there, you don't see ladies there. Here we are now, we have ladies golf that are trying to host, all African challenge trophy. We need to assist them, we need to encourage them. Because one, daring that, to even want to host such very important continental trophy, challenge, is something that we need to commend them for. Because the hosting, the competition, having it in Nigeria will give us a lot of image boosting. We expose the country to a lot of things. Business opportunity, diplomatic opportunity, investment opportunity, and a whole lot of other opportunity. So it's something every reasonable Nigerian should be proud of. And that is why we believe, yes, they came with the notion that, they need to enter government arena, we need to be, we must serve as a linchpin or a platform towards getting to the legislature, which is what we are for, we are ready to do that. They want us to ensure that we link them with governance forum, we are ready to do that. They want us to ensure that at least we document the event in a way that at least it could be a kind of a research reference in future, we're ready to do. These are the areas they want us to come in. But aside that, the point I'm making is that sports has gone beyond what you see as, a recreational thing.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
It's an instrument of foreign policy that our country and any reasonable Nigerian should be proud, to venture into.
I just hope that, those watching at home, they have like a jotter beside them. I will continue to say the professor is speaking. They should listen.
I'm just saying the reality.
All right, quite beautiful to know, sir. Just like you said, at times when, you find the document in front of you, the letter introducing, they want to have like a quoticle and all that, you read, you get to know a little about them. I just want to know the experience for you when you finally saw the ladies in their uniform and everything, and they, you communicated, you had an interaction. What did you deduce from the meeting with them?
You see, the ladies, the Golf Association, when I saw them, and I even saw the correspondence one day, when I saw them, these are not ladies within 10, 12, 15, 20. I don't think anybody among them is less than 40. So they're not just coming up. And for people of that nature, they are women, they are grandparents. For them to now devote their time for such activities, and now going even beyond Nigeria to say, okay, reaching out to the outside world, engaging in competition with other counterparts from other countries in Africa, and having the guts, you understand, the courage and the patriotism to now want to host it in Nigeria, they deserve a trophy. They deserve an honor. So I was a bit, when I saw the letter, the response, yeah, I was interested, we are interested. But when I saw them physically, I got more interested than when I even saw the correspondence. And that was when the zeal, the enthusiasm now increased. So every reasonable Nigerians and reasonable policymaker at the level of government that sees this kind of women trying to do this, we must do everything possible to motivate them, to encourage them. We don't have the money, we don't have the resources, but we have the technical know-how, we have the technical prowess, we have the link, we have the network, we have the goodwill, and whatever we have facilities. Whatever we have to assist them to achieve this success, we must do it. We have the voice. We can talk. We can reach out. We can network. We can speak with those in government. We can speak with the executive. We can speak with the legislature. And whatever we can do, at least to motivate them, to encourage them to succeed. Their success is not just success as individual. Their success in that challenge is the success of Nigeria. Their success is not just for them as individuals. Their success as, an organization is for this government. And everything must be done. You see, when you talk of development of a country, development is not an holistic thing that everybody must. If every facet of life, every sector of life, every sector of society is working, is improving, you are developing your own skill, you are developing your own talent, you are developing your own individual within that organization, from one sector to another, collectively you are developing a nation. This is what Plato refers to as essence of justice. So, don't wait for Sport Commission to do it all alone. Don't wait for government to do it all alone. Don't wait for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do it all alone. Don't wait for the legislature to do. If at your level, as NTA Sports, your GM is developing the scale of his staff individually, nurturing the staff, looking at infrastructure, ensure cleanliness, ensure purity, ensure maintenance, collectively. That is how we can, all of us together, collectively develop the society. So what they are doing is developing the sporting activity, is developing sports sector. If every sector is doing that. So when you talk of trophy, when they came, for instance, people have been trying to encourage me on the issue of golf. play golf? No, DJ, why not play
I wanted to ask you that. Do you play golf?
Why not play golf? Why not play golf? I went to Lagos some times ago, and I was one of these. I've forgotten the place, and they said I should go and play golf. They have encouraged me. But when these people came and I saw them, and they showed me some album, they saw the activities. Yeah, I began to develop interest in golf.
So in a few months' time, now we'll see you playing golf.
So they are developing the capacity of my capacity.
Yes.
And by so doing, what you call burnout. Every chief executive will workaholic. We stay in the office. You don't want to go home. You start working. You go home. You sleep. You must do what you call burnout. You must burn out. You must get something done. When you work in a corrosive environment, chaotic environment, how do you relax? You don't relax by going to club alone. You relax by going to venturing into any sport. So golf is one of those. I've been tutored, I've been encouraged, I've been motivated by these women. By so doing, they are developing me, they are developing my family, because when I become more enthusiastic, when I might become more healthier, yeah, the society, my family will enjoy me so much.
Yes.
My wife will enjoy me. My children will enjoy me.
Exactly.
My society will enjoy me. I can now think wider than what I'm. So I think aside the contribution they are making to nation building, they are developing individual, they are developing society, and by the time they left my office, I think I now discovered a lot of my staff. I think they have now enrolled into the Golf Association. That is how to go. So my interest or our interest in the Golf Association is born out of the patriotism they've exhibited in the course of doing this, and why as a nation we must encourage them. Our attention must not just be in the areas of football. It must just be in the area of basketball. In some countries, some of these sporting activities that we don't take, cognizance of in Nigeria is what they do. And they are making a lot of money from there. So aside the monetary aspects, aside the economic benefit that come to it, most importantly is the image, the bellicosity. You understand? Yes. The perception you portray about your country. This is very important. And through this, let's talk of the diversity, the Yoruba, Hausa, the Igbo, the Ibibio coming together. You see, anytime we're even fighting, when it comes to football, we forget about our quarrel.
Exactly.
You understand? It's an instrument of conflict resolution. So, as I keep on saying, we can talk about, you can write a thesis on sports as an instrument of foreign policy.
Quite good.
As an instrument of nation building. So you can say so much. So people should not start thinking NILDS in sport, NILDS in golf.
I'm looking at something because for you, I don't know, if you feel the same thing. You said it that, they could have even written to some people that did not listen to them. Now, if they get to tell other people that, see, we're in partnership with a whole institute like the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, you're like, wow, you're in partnership with them. I want to believe they will listen to them. Do you share the sentiment?
Of course, when they tell people they are with NILDS, and people know who is heading NILDS, we know what we are doing. NILDS is not just an organization like any other, it's a big organization that falls within the purview of National Assembly and every democratic institutions in this country. NILDS is intellectual capacity hub of the legislature in Nigeria and by extension in West Africa. In the course of this trophy, I can easily pick my phone and talk to our counterparts in Benin Republic. I can speak to them in Uganda. I can speak to them in Ghana. We have built that network. And when I speak with the speaker in the Benin Republic, I speak with them in Ghana, I speak with them in Uganda, I speak with them in Somalia, they will give them attention. They will listen to them.
I think that's quite
You understand?
That
so when it comes
beautiful.
to parliamentary diplomacy, we are at the forefront in this country. So, and this is a continental thing that requires, our governments, individual, at every level, to support. They can go to the Senate President just like that, or the Speaker to speak with him. Yes, they are accessible. But when they now say, okay, they are going to see Senate President for Nigerian Parliament to support them, and the organization they are in talk with to pivot this talk is NILDS. Instantly they will listen to them.
Easy
This is the best way to go. So they knew what they are doing, and they are doing it very well, and we are key into it, and togetherness we can succeed in this venture.
And of course, for them coming to you, it means that you've been able to do a lot of things in putting the organization, the institute, in good shape that is now, the best among, its equals in other parts of the world. I think that's
Absolutely.
quite beautiful.
Absolutely.
And of course, we must congratulate you for the work you've been able to do.
Thank you very much.
And where you were mentioning infrastructure, and I say if somebody goes around your edifice, which is spearheaded the, construction, I think they will know that if this man talks about infrastructure, he knows what he's talking about.
Absolutely.
But we'll let you rest a little. We know that this is not an annual lecture, but I'm enjoying every bit of it. And of course, Prof is not in the classroom. And of course, he's not in the halls of, academia or, legislature. But this time around, he's on the, sport pitch. He's telling us something, although he's doing his exercise today with his agbada. We'll get to talk more on this discussion. I'm enjoying every bit of it. But let's go on this quick break. When we return, we'll be talking to Prof more about this partnership and, of course, a little bit too about his organization and, of course, their latest, sojourn into sports. Let's get to know that after this break.
Stakeholder in sport? Do you really desire a platform to project your views and create impact in sporting events, news, programs, goods and services? Search no more. NTA Sports 24 channel is an indigenous 24-hour dedicated channel for sporting activities and programs in Nigeria and beyond. For adverts, sponsorship, partnership, and all you may require, the right channel is NTA Sports 24. Call us now on 0803-211-3974, 0803-600-6649. You can watch us on the go on Facebook at NTA Sports 24, YouTube at NTA Sports 24, and on X at NTA Sports 24. NTA Sports 24, where sports thrive.
All right, you're still watching the M Sports Cameo away from NT Sports 24. And of course, with me in the studio, is still very much around. It's no other person than Professor Abubakar Suleiman. Is the Director General of the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. And of course, he's been discussing, the importance of sports development, especially, their latest sojourn into sports development, which is quite beautiful to see. All right, Prof, it's always, it's interesting to know you're still here.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about, how your, institute could give, the legal backing, in Nigeria, we still understand something because in other parts of the world, we see sport will thrive on its own. The money comes, people easily want to like support any sporting event and all that. But in Nigeria, we still see it as just entertainment. In fact, it's now that you can see somebody in sports that you can say, okay, can bring home money. Before anybody that did sports those days, you know that this one is going to die poor. But now we're seeing that, sportsmen are quite rich and they can be, somebody in the society. I'm sure this partnership with Elgan is, opening new horizons when it comes to giving the necessary backing in terms of legislation, for sports. Are you thinking that way?
You see, the MOU we are entering into, or we enter into with the Lady Golf Association on this challenge coming up, is an exposure to how well we can fund sporting activities. It's an exposure to how leadership at the various sporting arena organization could get people endeared to sporting activities. You see, the areas where people just rely on, let's sit down and watch whether the money will come from everyone is gone. At every sector of sporting organization, the headship must be very aggressive. They must be very proactive. You can't get this edifice sustained if the leadership of this NT sport is not proactive, is not aggressive in pursuing, the goal is set for himself to achieve. The same thing applies to sport organization too. In advanced countries where we see people are making billions from sports, it's about leadership, it's about orientation, it's about individual. We need to cultivate that culture in Nigeria. The aspect of legislation is there. I don't think there's any problem with the issue of legislation. I don't think there's any problem with policy. But what we have as a problem is leadership. And let me say this. The problem we're having in the area of sports, and why we're not getting it right, is because we believe for every sporting organization, for instance, the headship of one, either basketball, this and that, NFA, NFF, should be a former footballer. Or it doesn't hold. For every of these organizations, you need an administrator that can mobilize resources, material and human resources to achieve a set goal. You see, the problem is everywhere. You talk of health sector, for instance. You believe that in the health sector, the person that could head hospital should be a medical doctor. Doesn't hold. It might be a surgeon, good in his area, but when it comes to administration, he might not get it right. So for every sector, you need an administrator, seasoned administrator that have excelled, that could pull resources together, that could motivate people, that could gather resources. It doesn't mean it should be an expertise in that area. It doesn't mean it should be a technocrat in that area. It doesn't mean its area of college should be in that area. But its expertise should be that it's an administrator, it's a manager. Dangote was not a cement. He didn't know anything about cement, or he didn't know about energy. But how did he pull all this together?
So many big men in the tailoring industry,
they
don't know how to sew clothes.
So that's the point I'm making. So the same thing applies to sports. If we are to get it right as a country, we must identify people that have excelled, that can. Let me give you a good example. When I wanted to be DJ of this, there was this notion, how can you bring a former minister who never did something about legislature, who never did something about parliament? I was looking at them. But today, here we are. You understand?
Your work speaks for you.
So people talk about edifice, they talk about maintenance, they talk about sustenance, they talk about expansion, it's about skill, it's about, administration. It's about commitment to it. So we need people of that in every sector. So for the sporting activities in the country, for us to get what we want as resources, for us to attract more people into it, we must identify people of experience that have excelled in the areas of managing resources, both human and material resources, that can give us results. To me, that's one way to go.
That's quite beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Now, this partnership with Organ, I could hear the president, Lami Ahmed, talking about how this could go beyond AACT. And I want to believe you're thinking that way, that it could go beyond the competition itself.
I've said on several occasions, when they came, I told them that beyond the fact that we are going to bring people together to play this competition, have the trophy, share, it's a platform. Platform for recreation, platform for investment, platform for government to be exposed to the decays. You are trying to now tell people in government, look, these are issues that we need to look into. These are areas we need to look into. These are gaps we need to fill. You are exposing them to a lot of things. And through that, a lot of policies, a lot of legislation may come out of it. Beyond that is a platform for nation building. And beyond that, again, is a platform as an instrument for foreign policy. You understand? So when I told that after the competition, by November 2nd to 6th, when we are done, we'll look into the other areas we need to engage.
That's quite beautiful.
You understand? Yes. Because we need more women, for instance, in sporting activities. How many times in Nigeria, in this city, have you seen women in the streets, jogging, exercising in the morning? When you go to London, you go to the city of London, you go to US, you go to somewhere, you see women 50, 60. They keep fit. They make it a routine every day, every morning, before they go to work. We need to encourage that. And we can only encourage that by encouraging these women that have already started something along that line. So beyond that, we are looking into that aspect of keeping a healthy living of our women. In advanced country, they talk about keeping a healthy living of aged people. We are not looking into that. This might be an avenue for us to look into that. After the trophy, the continental competition, this is something we need to look into. Just like the COVID pandemics. Some of the things we are doing now in the area of social services, we are not looking at that before. But it exposes us to say, look, this is the way to go. Yeah. So maybe after this now, this is an aspect for us to look at. Our women, how do we encourage? For every organization, every ministry, every agency, every cultural organization, you must encourage your women to keep fit by daily exercise, by routine exercise. So these are the way to go.
All right, for those of us who know you, and of course, we've always, followed you, we know that, you value a lot of things, not just, gender inclusion alone. You value the elderly, you value the youth, and you don't joke with your workforce. And recently, you entered into another partnership with the National Institute for Sports, and we're seeing that your workforce now will be, fitter than before. Tell us about this new partnership.
You see, when I was the Minister of National Planning, I think the only time I was one minister that brought all my staff to this stadium for sporting activities.
Wow.
And they were surprised that a minister could come and engage with them and encourage them to do it. I mixed with them, did everything with them. So the same thing I'm doing now with NILDS. We call it Director General Sporting Activities, which is now on quarterly basis. Last Saturday, we were there. Talk of football, talk of basketball, talk of volleyball, talk of table tennis, playing judo, every photo. I was trying to encourage my staff. So when it comes to staff welfare, I don't keep last. I'm always at the forefront. So staff welfare is not just about giving, them salary, or payment of salary or emolument allowances. It's about ensuring they keep a healthy life. It's about encouraging them to burn out. It's about encouraging them to mix up, mingle with other counterparts, with their superior. You understand? Keep a healthy living. So I started that. And when I said, okay, we have to go beyond just. How do we bring it in? So if tomorrow now you see parliamentarians of subnational entering into a competition, football competition of 36 state assembly with National Assembly, playing football competition, don't be taken by surprise. It's going to be an initiative of NILDS. You understand? And through that, a lot of positive things will come out of it. So we need to enter into MOU with NIS, especially, first of all, to achieve this continental competition on November 1st. And after that, we want to see how NIS could come into assisting the various, because when you catch them young, when you talk of search or man-hunt, you can only do man-hunt. NIS, Diko cannot just sit down in his office, for instance.
Yes.
Only him doing all the trouble. We need to assist him. We need to encourage him. We need to support him. We need to motivate him. At every sector, every organization needs to fish out those talents that could help shape our sporting, activity and that's what we are trying to do. So, but I will not speak much on that until that MOU is struck out between our institute and NIS.
All right, well, quite beautiful. We're looking forward to, bigger things coming from NILDS. And of course, just like, many said, you just mentioned it also, in Kwara State, we've seen what you've done and you continue to do it, all over, supporting the young ones when it comes to, sports. We need to go because we've been told that there are so many documents, on your table that you need to attend to. But I will just ask you this. What's your favorite sport and, your favorite Nigerian athlete?
My favorite sport, as yours too, I think it's football.
the general one in Nigeria.
I think it's football. But I'm not happy that Africa has crashed out.
And even Nigeria did not play at the World Cup.
No, that one we have won on that one.
Okay.
But the one we are mourning now is Yojoro they did for Egypt.
So is Okocha your favorite Nigerian player? Oh.
He was.
Okay.
He was, but again, Okocha.
Maybe now you're supporting Osimhen.
Okocha was one. I don't know how to. One jester again. He would dribble everybody for him to score over the bar.
All right. Quite interesting. He
was an entertainer.
That's quite beautiful. The day you just let us know when you're going to the golf club. When you're going to get your club for the first time and we'll see your first T-shirt, we want to be part of it. We want to see you play golf. Interestingly, I'm the golf correspondent, so I'll be with you.
Okay, that's your favorite sport.
That's what I cover.
Oh, good. I will invite you.
All right, thank you so much for coming, sir. And of course, to the people at home, I would just like to tell them that I'm selling handouts now. And the title of my handout is How to, Utilize the Power of Sports for Foreign Policy Development, National Integration, and of course, Gender Inclusion. Excerpt from an interview from Professor Abubakar Suleiman. See me later. Contact me for your handout. It's been interesting.
Thank you very much. Wonderful seeing you today. And you're doing a good job.
We were in your edifice, your headquarters recently, and the person that was with was like, is this in Nigeria or we're outside the country? That's quite massive. And no wonder you got a second term as the DG because they've seen the work you've been doing and you continue to do.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you, and thank you for also supporting sports. Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
I will appreciate you on behalf of the entire management from the GM to everyone.
Thanks for the appreciation. And my regards to GM too.
Okay. I'm sure he's waiting for you.
They have been partnering with us and we are doing a good job.
All right.
And we continue to partner with you too. Joy has been speaking with me and Madam too has speaking with me. So we'll see what we can do together with the NTA Sports.
That's quite beautiful. Thank you again.
Thanks, sir.
All right. I've been speaking with no other person than a professor. Yes, a professor of political science and international relations, a former minister of national planning in Nigeria here. And of course, you know what? He's been an advocate of sports development. He's been doing a lot when it comes to that. But today, he decided to leave the halls of parliament, legislation, and even academics to do sports, and we've enjoyed every bit of it with his agbada. And of course, the show is still AM Sports coming your way from NTA Sports 24. The news will be at 11. Do stand by for that.